Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alana and you are watching Alana TV, where I bring you all things movies, all things series, all things books, and all things entertainment. And I am not late with my February wrap up. Unlike January, where I fell into a book slump, couldn't do anything, was stressed, depressed, and I literally gave you guys that in the middle of February. I'm here. It's still the first week of March. So she's early. She's on time. She's on time. I read 7 books. I have them all written down here on my trusty notepad. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. The first book I read was Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing. I did record me reading this book. I did not lose the footage like I did with A Court of Mist and Fury. Thank heavens. So I'm going to be posting that for you guys throughout this week. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be posting it on my TikTok. So go over there. Fourth Wing. I loved this book. This was fan-freaking-tastic. This was a, what did I think I rated this like a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I rated it a 4.5 out of 5. Loved this. So this is about Violet Sorrengale. She's a young girl. I think she was about 20 or 21, can't remember. She has been studying all her life to be a part of the scribe, so pretty much read books and do history and learn about history. That's what she loved. That's what her father was, and she wanted to pretty much follow along in his footsteps, until her mother, that I have beef with, decided to put her in the pick, or the pool for being a dragon rider. Bear in mind, Violet is brittle. She's weak, and dragons don't usually bond to weak humans, right? And she has been training, and she's been doing what her mother says. She has to do what her mother says because her mother is the general for the army, right? She's doing everything her mother says. She decides to, okay, mom says to do this, she's doing it, and she is in for a whirlwind, especially when she gets there and people try to kill her just because she is her mother's daughter and other things. And I don't want to give spoilers because I've been trying my best to give you the plot without spoiling it, but it's so freaking hard. It's so hard to talk about these books without telling you what I liked and disliked about this. So I'm going to give you the wrap up without any spoilers. But 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. I love this shit. This was so good. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was a lot of friendships, childhood friendships, adult friendships, because she did make a lot of friends in the Rider's Quadrant, which is her bonding to dragons and all that pizzazz, while being in the lead to bonding to dragons and all that pizzazz. And it was freaking fantastic. She has an enemy there that has been her enemy due to her mother's actions. But this, read it. Read it. That's all I could say without spoiling the book for you. Fantastic. It lives in my head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Okay? Rent free. Oh, and sorry. This Fourth Wing is by Rebecca Yaros. Forgot to tell you guys that. So the second book is the Possessing Her series by Morgan Bridges, called Once You're Mine and Now You're Mine. So I read both of these books. Did I read them both because they were so good? No. I read them both because I'm nosy and I don't know how to DNF a book. And what these 2 books have taught me is I need to learn how to, because I didn't enjoy these books at all. I think both of them were 2 out of 5. There was no intrigue. There was no allure. There was no twist. There was a cliffhanger, but you could see it from a mile away. There wasn't anything, in my opinion, intriguing about it. It was about Callista and Hayden. Hayden is a lawyer that pretty much seeks justice inside and outside of the courtroom. He does, if he cannot get justice inside the courtroom, he goes and seeks his vengeance, and he avenges these murdered people, or pretty much the victims of the situation at hand. And I didn't see anything wrong with that, but I just thought that seeing that he is fighting so hard, he's supposed to be a lawyer, he's supposed to know whether someone is guilty or innocent, regardless of what's going on. He should have enough evidence to know, okay, this person is guilty, this person is innocent. However, he let someone trick him, fool him into harming the wrong person, which pretty much starts the story off from there. And Callista, which is the main female lead, she now gets tugged into his mess. Now, for her, her dad died, and she was in college. She decided to drop out of college for whatever reason. It's it's such a sad thing when someone decides to pretty much ruin their own education just because they wanted someone else to take care of them. It's never a good thing. It's always best to stand on your own 2 feet. Even if you don't want to continue doing something, at least have an education, right? And she decided to quit college for no reason whatsoever, just so her dad could take care of her. She's not an idiot. She's a smart girl. She's a beautiful girl, but she's gullible, right? And that's how pretty much Hayden got into her life. She was just gullible, and he was a stalker. He did a bunch of crazy stuff, and I just did not like him. I did not like her, and it was just a waste of my time, to be honest. So both books would not recommend. Read at your own peril. That's my review for those two. No, no, thank you. Okay, so the next book, let me tell you exactly who they're for, is My Dark Romeo, as you can see here, by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. This is supposed to be an enemies to lovers romance, right? From the Dark Prince Road. This was another one that I did not enjoy. I do have a full in-depth review of this video on my TikTok, so you guys could definitely go there to check out the review for this book. But for the spoiler free, this is about a girl called Dallas. She is a part of the high society community where it's noise passing. So yeah, she's a part of this high society community where you're supposed to stay a virgin until you're married. You're not supposed to be caught with a guy. If you are, you know, you're disgraced, your family is disgraced, and it's a whole mess. It is like Bridgerton. It's a lot of Daphne's story, to be honest, when I read this book. And for that was one of the reasons why I did not like it. This book was Bridgerton, and they even mentioned Bridgerton a few times in this book. That alone for me was like points off, strike for me. Now, as you continue in this book, she went to this debutante ball, and she comes into contact with this guy named Romeo. This gentleman is a part of the elite as well, and he is enemies to her fiance. Did I mention she's engaged? Yeah, she's engaged to yet another rich part of the elite, old money family. So her fiance and this new guy Romeo is enemies. They're enemies. So Romeo decided that he's gonna use Dallas to get back at her fiance, which is his enemy. So he decided to do certain things that left her in a compromising position, which everyone saw, and he decided to petition her dad for her hand in marriage. She did not want to marry him. He wanted to marry her, and just despite his enemy, her fiance, and from there it went downhill. She was yet another woman that decided to give up her education for nothing, for a man. And it wasn't even for a man. It was for the fact that, hey, she was married. She felt like once she's married, there is security there, and she wouldn't need to work, she wouldn't need to do anything, and she decided to just quit school. Her only goal in life is to be a mother. That's it, nothing else. And I just don't understand why she would want to be a mother when she doesn't even know how to take care of herself. She doesn't like to shower. Her hygiene is poor. She doesn't like waking up before 12 noon. She's a mess. She's a complete mess. She spent thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars just because she's upset with her husband and things like that. It was just, it wasn't good, right? It wasn't good. I didn't see what was there to love about her. They were saying, oh, she's so charismatic and she's this and she's that. But to me, she was a complete snob, right? She was a messy person. And I know snob, technically the definition does not describe who she is, but I would say she's just a really messy person. And for Romeo now, I did not like his character simply because he had no ambition other than wanting to ruin his dad's company. He wanted to be the CEO of his dad's company just to ruin the company. So for good reason, because if you read the book you'll see what the good reason is, and I get it completely, but I felt like his revenge, even though justified, wasn't like, I don't know, it was just like a that's all you wanted to do. You just wanted to ruin the company. That's it. Nothing else. Just get it to ruin it. The plot wasn't doing what it needed to do, in my opinion. So as they say, the plot wasn't plotting. Okay, the plot wasn't plotting, and I just didn't like it. The ending was really nice. You know, at the end of the day, the book ended good. As I can't say good. It ended as good as it ended as good as it possibly could with the plot at hand. Okay, I would say it's a 3 out of 5, maybe a 2, to be honest. If I'm being nice, I'll say it's a 3 out of 5, but I don't want to be nice. I just want to be honest. So this book is a 2 out of 5. And reading is subjective once again, because a lot of people recommended this book and I would not recommend this book. I don't see how this book is enemies to lovers. I feel like people that say like annoyance to lovers or dislike to lovers are enemy to lovers, is I don't think they know what an enemy to lovers is. I want you guys trying to kill each other. You got me? That's enemies to lovers. I want you despising that person in the pit of your stomach. You hate them with all you have. Not secretly love them or secretly like them or infatuated with them or you're growing to like, no. Hate me. And if you want me, you have the desire to want me. Hate me because you have the desire to want me. That is enemies to lovers. Not, oh, I'm secretly in love with you, but I'll pretend like I hate you. Please. Please. Okay? Please. Thank you. Give me a good enemies to lovers recommendation, please. Please. I beg of thee. Help me. I need it. Help me. Because that's not enemies to lovers. So, 2 out of 5. If I'm being nice, 3 out of 5. Now, the next one, loved, ate it up, enjoyed it. It was so freaking good. And this one was 5,000 Nights of Obsession by Drethi A. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Drethi. Let me go look it up and come right back. Yeah, so her name is Drethi A, and this is the 5,000 Nights of Obsession, a twisted Gatsby story, Tales of Obsession, Book 1. So I enjoyed this book. It was fun. It was great. It had a twist at the end, but in the middle, I thought it was, okay, I understand that. No, that's definitely what's happening here. I had a theory, the same theory a couple times in the book, but I was like, oh no, that doesn't make any sense. No, they're saying it's not, so it can't be. But then at the end, the theory that I had was actually true, and I loved that. So it gave you the idea, but then it twisted it in your mind a couple times, so you were like, okay, no, that you doubted yourself, and I loved that. This book did not claim to be enemies to lovers. It didn't claim to be, oh, just this romantic great show. It let you know that this is not a love story, right? It is, but it's not the way you think it is, and I love that. I enjoyed reading this book. It had me kicking my feet, and I knew that I have become a dark romance girly through and through, because I loved it. I loved it. He was obsessed with her. So let's go back to the beginning of this book. So this book, let me give you the characters' names because I can't remember their name for the life of me. So so the main characters in this book is Priya, and she's the main female lead. Alex, he is the main male lead. Her husband, Jay. Listen, I don't even want to say that part. So rewind. This this book is about the female lead, which is Priya, and the male lead, which is Alex. I don't think my review for this book could do it justice. I really enjoyed reading this book. It was fun to read. The plot was really, really good. 5 times better than Once You're Mine and Now You're Mine. This was also an obsession book, just like Once You're Mine, Now You're Mine, if we're gonna compare the two. And I just think that the plot for 5,000 Nights of Obsession was fantastic. And I could not understand the title of the book as I was reading through the book until closer to the end of the book. And I got it, and it's like a light bulb went off. And oh my God. This book is best to go in reading it blind. So I don't want to give you too much info on this book, but just know if you love it, you love it. If you don't, you don't. It's definitely a 50-50 chance of you loving it and not loving it, you know? Just read at your own peril. Let's just say that. Read at your own peril. And if you love it, tell me that you love it. If you don't, tell me that you don't. You know, just give me your feedback. Once you read it, then we can talk about spoilers. Once you read it, we can talk about it. But this obsession was a 15-year-long obsession. 15-year-long obsession. Imagine somebody being obsessed with you for 15 years. Imagine you holding a secret for 15 years. Imagine being in love with someone for 15 years and being married to someone else in that same time. So, loved Alex, loved Priya. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Sorry, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5? 5 out of 5. I enjoyed this book. It was a good read. It was fun. It was fantastic. I don't know how else to say it without giving away too much. And I don't want you guys going into this book knowing too much. So go in blind, enjoy it, or don't, and let me know what you think about it. So the next book that I read was The Predator by Runyx. I think that's how you say her name, Runyx. And I enjoyed this book. This book was a 4 out of 5 for me. There were some things that to me didn't make much sense in this book, but let's go through it. So this book is about a girl named, I think, what was her name? Morana. Why is it Morana? So this book is about a girl named Morana. This is a mafia book first off. So she is the daughter to one of the mafia kings in a community, and she is the female main lead for this book. The male lead is Tristan Kane, or Crane? I'll say Kane. Tristan Kane. I'm having some tongue ties right now. And he is the son, well, not technically not the son, but the son, just not blood son, of another mafia family. And for some reason, unbeknownst to you, but known to me, he hates Morana with a burning sense of fury. Yet, he protects her when it counts. He wants to kill her, and he thinks that he's the only one that has the right to kill her, so he will not let anyone else kill her. So that's why he protects her. Not because he doesn't want her dead. He wants her dead, but he wants to kill her. How sadistic is that? And I loved it. I loved every part of it. It was freaking fantastic. Gaping potholes, the reason he wanted to kill her was his fault and only his fault. It was not her fault. She did nothing. Literally, she did nothing. But in his twisted, twisted mind. He blamed her for his actions. 4 out of 5 for me. 4 out of 5 for me. The plot of this book was so good. It was good. Did it have gaping potholes? Absolutely. Did his revenge make no sense? Yes, it did not make a lick of sense, but did I love it? I did. I did. I did. In this book, she finds out a lot about herself. She finds out a lot about her family. She finds out a lot about Tristan and just her whole community. She makes friends. I can't say friends. She made a friend. She's not someone that has a lot of friends. She is a bit closed off, antisocial, and rightfully so, being that she is a daughter of a mafia king. Her dad isn't a great dad. No one around her is a good person, and she is just wrapped up in a world that she has no business being in. Then she comes across Tristan. Well, she pushes herself in his vicinity after years of them having this mafia connection, because they're pretty much all in the same field of work. And she made something that was extremely dangerous, and she needed to get it back. And that's when Tristan came into, well, she put herself in Tristan's path, and it was downhill from there. It was, well, I should say uphill from there. 4 out of 5. Did I mention it's a 4 out of 5? I did, right? Yeah, 4 out of 5. Go read it. The Predator by Runyx. Go read it. Okay, yeah, 4 out of 5. Anyways, guys, the final book for February, Legend Born. Legend Born by Tracy Deonn. Legend Born by Tracy Deonn. That's this rent free. It lives rent free in my mind, and I don't know what to tell you about this book. You see how cute she looks? See how cute she looks? See how cute she looks? Okay, so this book, Legend Born, is about a young girl by the name of Bree. She's 16 years old. She is super smart. Did I mention she's super smart? She's super smart. She finished high school pretty early, and she decided to go to college. She applied for a college that her mother previously went to. Her relationship with her mother was not great. She wanted to get away. She honestly just wanted to get away with her from her mom. Their relationship was not the best, and she felt like she was alone. Applied to the college. She got into the college. She hid it from her mom, and unfortunately something happened where it's just a huge tragedy for her. So she decided to go to the school and everything. On her first night being there, she encountered a magical activity that pretty much rocked her to her core. It's something that she shouldn't have been able to see, but she saw it, she experienced it. Someone else that was there, that was involved in this activity, in this magical activity, saw her, wiped her memory, and sent her back home. However, the mind wipe did not stick, and it was a mess from there on out. She was a target. She kept seeing things that she should not be seeing. She kept getting involved in things she did not need to be involved in. And the gentleman that saw her, that wiped her memory, he is a part of a group on campus known as Legend Borns, and they are a secret society of magical entities. And of course, obviously, with Bree finding out certain things and her being able to see magic, that means she's a part of that world, and the plot goes from there. This book is about self-discovery. It's about finding out about your heritage, about her mom and her grandmother and her great-grandmother, and who she is to her core. It's a fantastic plot. I would give the plot a 5 out of 5. The book in itself, 5 out of 5. I did not find anything wrong with this book whatsoever. I enjoyed it. I loved it, and this is a 5 out of 5 for me. I enjoyed reading this book. And to say it's a YA book, it's a 16-year-old girl I'm reading about, right? I really enjoyed it. I did, and I can't recommend this book any less to people. As soon as someone's like, okay, I want a book, something magic and self-discovery and just intellect, Legend Born. Number one on my list, Legend Born. Rent free in my mind all the time. I loved it. And as you can see, I remember the plot of this book way more than I remember the plot of some of the other books that I've told you about. I think it's just because I did not enjoy those books as much as I did this one, and it just stays in my mind on rotation, and I loved it. Just like with Fourth Wing, they stay on my mind constantly. I really, really enjoyed them, and they live rent free in my mind now. Loved it. Okay guys, so that is the end of my February reads, or my February wrap up, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna give you guys a March hopeful sometime down this week, so I'm gonna film that right after this, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching, and your girl is back backity back. See you guys.